Hello, my name is Blair and welcome to another OS. Today, we're gonna take a first look into Debian 12 Bookworm, which is just released few weeks ago. So Debian 12 Bookworm just released few weeks ago, and of course we're gonna take our first look into this operating system, which is mostly based on our different operating system, including my operating system, which is right now my KDE Plasma 5.27 and my Ubuntu 23.04 and Ubuntu 23.04. And I know some of you also use this operating system as the base of your operating system, but most of us do not mostly use this operating system, which is basically it's one of the stable operating system, and we're gonna take our first look into this operating system called Debian version 12, codename Bookworm. So let's go to my VirtualBox right now, my VM. So I already have this operating system in my Oracle VirtualBox. So let's take our first look into this operating system. So let's click this one. So I already did install this, and the version is actually Grub version 2.06-13 revision. Oh, it's already 13 revision. So let's enter it, running to our Linux kernel 6.1.0-9. So I gave this, I think, 4 cores already, plus a 8 gigabytes of random access memory. Maybe in the next few weeks I will have this how to install Debian, but right now this operating system, we will just take our first look into this operating system. What is the feel of this desktop environment? At the same time, what is the default apps right here on their operating system? This is actually KDE Plasma desktop environment, and of course I have to enter my super secret password. Definitely not 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 or whatever. So this is the KDE desktop environment, and I already have this in my VirtualBox. I've been playing this for a couple of weeks already, but I haven't put it on how to install a Debian 12 Bookworm. So let's take our first look into this. So as you can see, this is a it's running 5.27.5 with a firmware of 5.103, and the Qt version is 5.15. Kernel is actually 6.1.0-9, and the Wayland for the graphical platform. And I gave this as quadro-core 11th generation i5 with frequency of 2.4 gigahertz and 8 gigabytes of random access memory, or the RAM, and it is running in VirtualBox version 1.2. So this is my Debian GNU Linux version 12, codename Bookworm. So let's try to see this. I already did the breeze dark because it is not glaring to my eyes. It's basically much better compared to the bright. As you can see, if I turn bright, you can see through my eyeglasses it has glare. It is painful actually if you stay longer. So let's go back to see no glaring. So that is why we prefer dark mode. So let's try to see what inside of this operating system background or desktop wallpaper, and let us try to make it large so that you can see. I will not have the full screen yet. I'll just want you to see how many. So we have Emerald 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So we have 17 desktop backgrounds right here to choose from. If you want the mountain, just click mountain. But if you want to have it in a light mode, you'll have this. The mountain is not dark, it is a little bit brighter. So yeah, it's trying to hurt my eyes. So let's go back to the dark mode. So as you can see, the mountain also darkens. So that is why I prefer dark mode compared to our light mode. So you have options right here to choose from. So let me small size this one again. We have the emerald. I think this is the dark emerald or the same emerald. Feature prototype. Yeah, this is the feature prototype, and with the Debian logo. Well, we also have the home world, Joy, which is I prefer mostly, and Joy Inksplat. I really like this one. We have Joy Screen Lock, which is just basically has no logo except for the corner logo, just to know that there is a logo of the Debian. And this one is the geometric lines, circle, 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 different types of circle. And we have also the lines right here, which is awesome, beautiful, right? How about this one, the moonlight? Yeah, it's kind of cool. How about the moonlight screen? Wow, one of the best too. So let's skip mountain and proceed to soft wave. Soft wave lock. Okay, they changed it from this one to that one. It has a name, Debian, and the logo is kind of right here. So how about the space? Ooh, kind of fun. Space fun. But I'll go back to the Inksplat. I really like Inksplat. Oh, by the way, if you have some issues with your mouse input, where's mouse input? Of course, your pointer speed, just a little bit, like drop it in your favorable speed, and at the same time you can always turn off the accelerator, because accelerator, it's kind of like if you just move a little bit, it will be just zooming around your screen. So probably it is much better to not to accelerate that if you have the optical mouse. Do I have other optical mouse? Yes, I have an optical mouse, which is a pen, which is right here. This is my optical mouse, which is, I really like this one. It comes with a USB, of course, and you have to have a AAA battery. Yeah, and of course I have a AAA battery, but I prefer right now, because I'm just doing not the on the class mode, because if I have the class mode, I prefer the cordless mouse, and it will be a pen compared to a mouse which is connected to a wire. But I love this. If you are at home, you don't need to have to charge or to put a battery on it. It's just basically a wire. So that is why I prefer mouse with wire. If I'm at home, if I'm having a lecture, I probably use the mouse pen. And of course I wanted to touch the screen at the same time, so that's why if it is possible, if I have the smart board, I prefer to use the mouse, touchscreen mouse. We call it touchscreen mouse because it's still optical. There is an LED actually in both corners, which is the XYZ. I have that video in my other but I didn't put it right now because it's just basically it's just a mouse with a touch screen gesture. It's basically it's a mouse. Oh, by the way, if you don't need to install a driver, which means it is based on operating system, or should I say free and open source operating system. But if you are having some issues on your mouse, which means that your mouse is a proprietary software and it is not based on open source and it is not free, that is why you use a installer driver. And most of them, right, is basically Microsoft based, and you know what I mean. But of course, if you have the free and open source, well, you are really okay with it. But some of the free and open source driver, it is not available in Windows, so you need to install your driver at the same time, or thus download it through the website by searching not in Google, but of course in startpage.com. This is not sponsored by Startpage, nor any VPN, nor Brave search. I'm just preferring it to have a very good way of search engine compared to Google. No offense with Google, but sometimes they have a lot of paid search results, so that is why I prefer Startpage and Brave search. So anyway, let's continue with we have our touch screen. If you have some touch screen gesture, if you have some touchpad, which is right now I'm using touchpad, and of course if I'm using touchpad, yeah, so I prefer both of them. I also have the drawing table, but I prefer on the, let me see, why is it, oh yeah, I didn't put the drawing table yet. I have the drawing table, and I prefer not the 1x1, but sometimes I just use it, you know, in a larger, big. XYZ, of course, your XYZ controller, yeah. If you have some game console. So let's go back. Printers, just click add printers. If you have some printers, it will be shown. But if it is a so-called proprietary, well, you have to download the proprietary software driver for your printer. So let me see, what do I have? So let's try to see the all application by using each folder to identify which is first our development, second will be graphics, third is the internet, multimedia, office, science and math, settings, systems, utilities, and help. I will not use the all application, but I'll be preferring to these categories, which is first, of course, development. We have the KDE text editor. Graphics, we have GNU image manipulator program. We have the Gwen viewer, KDE image viewer. We also have the display image magic, contrast checker, LibreOffice Draw Ocular for your document viewer. You also have the internet. Most of their internet are here. Your feeder, it depends on what you are preferring to. You also have the Firefox ESR, which is one of the stable Firefox web browser. Our Kmail right here. Don't forget, they have also the theme editor. We have a Conqueror for the web browser, for the KDE web browser. They call it the Conqueror. KT Nets. What's that? That is the proprietary format used by Outlook, Microsoft. And we also have the data exporter and the editor, our editor for emails. In our multimedia, we have the Dragon video player and the Jock music player. Office, we have, of course, we have LibreOffice Calc for our spreadsheet, LibreOffice Draw for our drawing, which is the counterpart for our publisher in Microsoft. We also have the LibreOffice Impress, which is the PowerPoint presentation. We have the LibreOffice Math for our formulas, mathematics. LibreOffice Start Center, which is just the first page of our LibreOffice. LibreOffice Writer for our word processor for our document, and for our document viewer we have the Ocular and so on. For math, of course, and science, we only have the LibreOffice Math for our formula. Well, math and science is just hand in hand. We also have the system settings, system crash viewer. If you have some process viewers that you are like wondering why is it your computer crash, so this is mostly your information. Yeah, we also have the software center, which is the Discover. We also have the Dolphin. Dolphin is our file manager, info center, the KDE partition manager, which is partition editor. I prefer KDE compared to GNU partition manager. Yeah, I think it is much easier to navigate, and it doesn't mount or unmount your drive if you are opening another drive. So that is why I prefer KDE partition manager compared to GNU partition manager. We have console for our terminal, K-Wallet manager. Of course, we also have the menu editor so that we could like change our menu right here. System monitor, and of course it gives you your information right here. See, from your memory, from your disk, how many space are you still available. You have your CPU, how many cores it is running, and of course application, which is just very few. Overhead, yeah, this is just only few, so much better compared to Windows. That is why I prefer using Linux compared to Windows. So let's go to our utilities. We have all those stuff right here. We have the emoji, Kate, calculator, magnifier, K mouse tool, and so on and so forth. We also have the speech synthesizer, which is K-mouth. Oh, we have K-notes too for your pop-up notes if you want to have like to put your notes instead of like sticky notes. If you have the sticky notes, you have also your digital sticky notes right here for your KDE. Add note. So you need to add blah 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 blah. No. Nope. I'll just quit it, that one. So yeah, what do you think? It is good? It is bad? let me know in the comments below, and I'll do the installer version in the next few weeks. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you really like that one. If you want to know more about different stuff like your apps, like your Android Linux app or your desktop Linux apps, so that's why I call it just Linux app, because it is Android based and at the same time it is desktop based. So desktop based, you have like this. As right now I have the KDE Plasma, and if you have some Android, well, it is much better. You need to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know more about your Linux on your mobile, or your Linux in your desktop, Linux mobile, which means Android. If your Linux desktop, KDE Plasma. That's why we have Plasma TV. So if you have some questions, just hit me. Let me know in the comments down below. If you don't have any questions, thank you very much for watching, and do hang on to the next video. I'm Blair saying bye for now, and see you in the next episode. And remember that science means knowing, because science is cool. Ciao. Shut down.